everybody. Welcome to the AMC podcast. I'm your host, Super. Here we have Element 83. He is the leader of Void, and we're here to talk about him and his team and his plans for the server, and also a couple other topics, so let's get into it. So, first off, Element, what does Void stand for? Ethically, I mean.
Not too much. Just like any other group, to be the best, help others out. At least when we build. Basically, yeah.
Huh. So, we've heard of groups being on the server, AMC, but they've all subsided, and little uprisings such as Jake Lull, Nexus, USSR, a bunch of those things, they've all subsided. Whether to be because of Void or not. Do you think Void is going to survive?
Yeah, as long as, no insiders come out, or, at least I'll try, I'm always keeping an eye out for them. As long as everything keeps going as planned, everything should be fine.
Yeah, because we know from history that Element has been incited. Do you think that's because of the poor taste in judgment by the team, or do you think it's individual players making the bad calls?
Well, this is a serious, very certain case. Chantel, the person who incited, felt that I was using her, but she has yet to give me an example of how I used her. So that concerns me, because now she just basically just blew up her base, and it's just... No one was really behind it. I heard that Dawn Fear was behind it, but I highly doubt that.
But in this particular case, what I'm mentioning is what happened with Jake Lull, RJ, and a number of people associated with Jake. So do you think that was a bad call of whoever invited them to the base, or do you think it was just a bad, decision from Void overall to let those people in, even to the recruit base, as it got blown up by them?
Well, the whole purpose of the recruit base was to filter out who was loyal and who wasn't. We got a great deal of people who were trying to inside. They failed. And that's where, RJ, Darabus, Jekyll came about. We already knew that Jekyll was a cuck. But RJ was actually, we were going to invite him to the main base, which was good when we found out he was an insider. Others that were loyal stayed, like Chantel and 3VT.
Another thing I want to bring up with you. There are teams like Dawn Fear, Imperium, and there's bound to be other uprisings. Do you think Void can handle them properly, or do you think there's going to be a sort of discontinuation of Void because of those things? Obviously, depending on how big they are, but do you think Void is going to stay strong in most days?
Yes. If everything keeps going to plan, everyone likes the group, what we're doing, I think everything should be fine. The group right now seems to be very fine on the temp map.
Yeah, actually, speaking of that, with our incredible shift in conversation, I want to bring up the temp map. So, what are your views on it?
Oh, it's very fun. Very fun.
Do you think
I really like what the owners are doing right now.
Yeah, do you think the owners have made a safe space so that the players can have a good playing experience?
Absolutely. They're really... They've done a really good job on showing what we want, and that's fun, because we want fun, and what they brought us is fun. It is very fun, as I said.
So, as we know from the temp map, there have been many instances of people getting very well off on the server. So, do you think Void is quote-unquote on top of the temp map, or do you think some other additional parties, such as Magic, Troll, or other people have been, beating Void in the temp map?
First of all, Troll's in Void, and Magic's just been an ally for us at the moment. We used to have him on KOS, but then he's just chill. But right now we're the best faction on the temp map at the moment.
Speaking of Magic, do you feel like this, and speaking of Magic and alliances, do you think this temp map has opened up new opportunities for Void in terms of making friendships on the server and resolving differences?
Yes. Certain things have been brought up and I've had certain alliances set up for the future in case things get out of hand.
Well, that settles it. That settles it. Void, quote, on top, as many people have been saying on the Discord, if you've been, if our viewers have been looking at the Discord. Going back to a couple of other past beefs, do you think you and Blaze have a good relationship?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Hopefully.
Yeah, we all hope so.
Yeah.
Do you think that the server's abuse on the temp map, now let's face it, on the original main map of AMC, I'm not talking about 1.0, I'm talking about 3.0, do you think that the temp map has had an overuse of admin abuse, whether it be spawning in spawners, spawning in animals, or other things like that? Do you think the owners have been doing more than they should be?
Okay, so one thing I like about the temp map is that everyone messes around. It's fine, it's just a temp map. And when the owners get into it and they start doing really fun things like snowballs that explode, which is going on right now, that is fun. Pig spawners that are called, what are they called? Cucumber in Swedish? What?
Gurka.
Gurka, yeah. It's the meme right now. There are pigs called Gukra, and they're coming out of pig spawners.
Not Gukra, Gurka.
I'm gonna punch you. Anyway, yes. It is fun having all these things be here, so I don't mind them abusing on the temp map, but when, main map, not so much. No, not really. So.
Yeah. I forgot what I was going to bring up. Oh yeah. So with Cobble's interview, he released a number of, evidence to believe or to assume that the Cobble Reich of Love is on the move. To say they have apparently about 25 members, and from what I've heard, they're growing. Now, this is all just speculation, but do you think they're going to be a tough enemy for Void?
Now, we haven't seen this army of his, so all I can say that it's bluff. Until I see it, we did see 2 members join AMC, but we didn't see those other 25 or 15 I requested. So, if let's say that he isn't bluffing, and all 25 are real, then yes, and if they all come to Minecraft or not AMC, sure, they'll be a tough enemy, but it also depends on how good they are in PvP, and other factors, PvP, manipulation, Cobble, and other people. And when I bring up manipulation, I actively tell everyone, don't trust Cobble, because me and you know why we shouldn't trust Cobble. No one should trust him.
Yeah,
and I'm not being subjective.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, in our last podcast, links in the description, we talked about Cobble loves manipulation, and I actually talked about this with Cobble, and he says he's very upfront about it. Now, to go out of the bad topics, go into the topics of Void. Now, why did you start Void?
Okay.
Better question. Why did you break off from Dawn to make Void?
Super.
Why did you break off from Dawn to make Void?
Because at the moment, or at the time we were in Dawn Fear, nothing was happening. It was very inactive and it was kind of boring. So, when you and Smickums were in VC on AMC, or I think we moved, yeah. No, we were in AMC, went to you, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna break off from Dawn and make her my own group, because nothing's happening on there, probably nothing will. So it was just boring. Got rid of it, now there's a new active group on there, on AMC.
Yeah, I could see where you're coming from. Since Dawn Fear is mainly on Anarchy Heroes anyway, and that server is not as popular as AMC, I could totally understand where you're coming from, wanting to make a new group.
Yep.
Now, going to sort of in Void, but also can be known as competitors. Troll, do you think he's going to stay with Void? Or do you think he's going to pull a charade or do a, bombastic charade and betray the group.
I don't see any reason why he would want to betray the group, but if he does, that'd be sad, because
Yeah.
everyone in, Void likes him. He's a pretty chill guy.
Mm-hmm. I just thought that, I just assumed that, because I know that Troll has done some pretty not chill things on AMC, he might be open to criticism or even betrayal. Not by you, just by people in general. And maybe that might influence him to do something rash.
I don't really know what those bad things are, except for when he, backdoored the server.
Mm-hmm, that's what I'm talking
a while
about.
ago, but no, that's blew over.
Yeah, I thought so. Do you think the owners on AMC are going to be abusing anymore? I know for a fact that they have been abusing. Everybody does, whether it be giving people op, whether it be in the past or let's say in the future. Do you think they're going to do much of it anymore? Do you think do you think they've learned their lesson, and do you think they've, resolved their differences and become better owners?
Okay, I think that they are going to be more careful about who they trust. On the topic of Morbid, he did it because of a special reason. He got very mad. He was, in many cases, not very... He got mad, very mad, and we all know why.
Mhm.
But the owners, I don't think, are going to be unpurposely messing around, backdooring the server by giving people, 32Ks. That's never happened, because the only times that they have abused, quote unquote, which is stained the name of the owners, is to say sorry. The exposed, the owners gave Don Fear their castle, but when it was exposed and they told the public, well, of course, the owners are going to blow it up because they told Don Fear specifically, keep it private because this is a sorry gift. Oh no, they decided to do that, and then many other times they have said sorry. That's the only time they ever abused, is to say sorry. I understand that. I'm never mad at the owners for abusing, unless they purposely do it. They go ballistic, cough Morbid, but that's it.
Yeah, honestly, now I know I'm not supposed to give too much of my input, but I have to say this. I thought Morbid was chill, and then all of a sudden he did this bombastic charade. So, yeah, it was a bad thing on the owner's part to do that. But do you think Morbid Rain should have been banned?
No,
No, how so?
it's an anarchy server. There's no rules, of course. So
I mean,
I guess
the owners have been pretty vocal how they do not want people lagging or deliberately costing the server players or experience, as they've banned people because they've made lag machines. So, do you think it's fitting that they ban Morbid Rain because of the amount of damage he's done?
The damage is in turn because they blew up bases. Now, the owners have redeemed themselves and tried to say sorry to the people that were subject to it by, say, giving Blaze Warfare a stash. Now,
And OP.
but then that was, blown up by Morbid, which is bad. Again, so that was bad. What was the topic again? I forgot.
Should Morbid Rain be bad? Or banned, sorry, not banned. Banned. Should he be banned? That was the topic.
Now, there's two types of arguments. There's the ooh, it's anarchy, and then there's the logical one. So it's two-sided. I don't really know what to choose, but both have cons and pros. I'm not gonna have a no comment on that.
Okay, understood. So, is there anything else, element you want to say to the viewers of the AMC podcast?
Don't trust Koppel, and under any circumstances, do not. Or Brexel.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. Just before we end off our podcast here, do you think Brexel? Do you think it was a sort of really immature spur that he did? Exposing
Absolutely.
the void base.
Yes, absolutely. So From what I've heard, because I wasn't there when the thing happened, Red put a crystal inside his base, but since we were so far out in our base, the crystals were offlined, and it blew up a lot more than he intended. But it was really bad on his part too, for placing it in the first place. We all knew that. And then Rexel overreacted, and he blew up his own house. And then this is where I never trusted Rexel in the first place, and I felt uncomfortable with him at the base. You know, he sells out the base, gives it to Starlane, a Dawn Fear member at the time. And basically, what we did was, once we found out, when Starlane told us, grabbed up the gear, put it in another area, and then blew it up ourselves. So, and he was gonna TP people anyway, so it was fine. He's a very scummy guy. He's been doing this since 1.0, 2.0, and again 3.0. Just, he's always gonna do stuff like that.
Anyway, so, like I was saying, any last words to the viewers?
No, not really.
Okay, well, this has been your AMC podcast. I'm your host, Super. This has been Element 83. Wish you a very happy Christmas and a happy holidays. Goodbye.